Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our program, The Ark of Salvation with Sayed Mustafa Qazwini, running through the month of Muharram, where we are looking at some of the social and religious issues related to the month of Muharram and how we can reflect upon that in our own lives. Today, inshallah, we're going to be reflecting upon the issue of why Imam Hussain alayhi salam rose up against Yazid when he knew he was outnumbered. As we know, there are many discussions and debates that have surrounded this movement that was taken by Imam Hussain alayhi salam. There were people who tried to stop him from taking this step to going to Iraq. But what were the reasons for that when he knew that he possibly could not win? So inshallah today we'll be discussing that. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Battle of Karbala and this issue between Imam Hussain alayhi salam and Yazid again has been slightly papered over. Often, again, someone has called it a battle between two princes that we shouldn't look into. There are those who say that Imam Hussain alayhi salam was in the wrong, that he should have obeyed whatever power is in place. Whoever comes to power, then the Muslims should pledge their allegiance to whoever it is. And there are others who can't quite make sense of why Imam Hussain alayhi salam went forth when he knew that death was inevitable. Beginning with those who tried to stop him from going on this journey to Iraq, who were those people and why did they try to stop him?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. They were all sorts of people who, some of them out of empathy and sympathy with the Imam. They loved him, they feared for him. They did not want him to be seen killed or murdered, because they knew the brutality of Bani Umayyah. Others, not because they loved the Imam, it was out of jealousy and hate. They did not want to see Imam being successful, being a leader in the community. Those who were loyal to the Imam, some of them were family members actually, and students of the Imam, and companions very close to him. An example of that was his cousin Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar, his first cousin, and the husband of Lady Zainab alayhi salam. He came to the Imam and he pleaded to him, please, Ya Aba Abdullah, don't go. You are, standing before the most brutal people who can destroy anything and kill anyone just to consolidate their rule and their empire. So please don't go, don't take the risk. But the Imam explained to him that I have an order. I've been commanded by my Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to go, and this is my religious duty. So Abdullah ibn Ja'far, when he heard this from the Imam, he of course understood that, and he sent his two sons to fight along the side of Imam Hussain. And they were murdered. They became martyrs and shaheed in Karbala. Muhammad and Aun, the children of Abdullah and Zainab alayhi salam. Another person came to him, very knowledgeable person, again his first cousin, Abdullah, his second cousin. He's the first cousin of Imam Ali alayhi salam. His second cousin, the second cousin of Imam Hussain, Abdullah ibn Abbas. Again, he came to the Imam and he said to him, I really fear for your life. And people are not loyal, so you cannot put your trust in those people. Again, the Imam said to him, since he was very knowledgeable and he was raised by Imam Ali along with Imam Hassan and Hussein, so Imam said to him, I respect your view, I appreciate what you are telling me, but this is the command of the Prophet. I have to go. I have to listen. Then Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari came. Again, he said the same to him. Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiyyah, his brother from a different mother, also he said to him, I fear for you. I don't want you to go to Iraq. Then Salama came, the loyal wife of the Prophet, and he said to Imam Hussein, he said to him, you're going to be killed in Karbala because your grandfather, before his death, he gave me a sample of the soil of Karbala. He said, Salama, keep it with you. When you see this soil turns to blood, then فَعْلَمِ أَنَّ ابْنِي قَدْ قُتِلْ. Then you have to know that this, my son, he pointed at you, he's murdered. So please don't go. لا تحزنني. Do not make me sad. بخروجك إلى العراق, when you go to the land of Iraq. Imam Hussain again, he said to her, I thank you, my mother. I know how much you love me and how much you love my grandfather and my family. But this is أمرني رسول الله بأمر لا أقدر على خلافه. My grandfather, he commanded me. Now, when did he command?
Yeah.
This is 50 years before the incident of Ashura. Always the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to tell Imam Hussain in several occasions that you're going to be murdered in Karbala. So if that was wrong, going to Karbala was not reasonable and sensible and was wrong, the Prophet could have said to Imam Hussain, but don't go, Ya Hussain. Don't go there. Don't risk your life. It's not worth it. Stay at home. Stay, in Medina, dignified, sitting in your house. But the Prophet was encouraging him also by saying, Husaynun minni wa ana min Hussain. You're going to continue my message. So on numerous occasions, Ibn Abbas says that when the Prophet lived during the life of the Prophet in Medina, because the Prophet said this on numerous occasions, he informed the Muslim community, his companions, that Imam Hussain is going to be killed in Karbala. No one among the companions of the Prophet had a shred of doubt that Hussain is going to be killed. They all were certain, because the Prophet made it very clear for them through his speeches. Very clear that this son is going to be killed in Karbala, not by the Roman Empire, not by the Persian Empire, not by Chinese, but by some people who call themselves my ummah, my community. So in numerous occasions happened that the Prophet came out of his room to the public, to the masjid inside the mosque. They saw his eyes were red. They said, لا أبكى الله عينك يا رسول الله. May God never allow you to cry. What happened to you? We feel sorry. He said, Jibreel was a while ago with me in the room. And he said to me, your grandson is going to be murdered. So, and I love Hussain, you know how much I love Hussain. So this is 50 years before the murder of Imam Hussain. The Prophet is sending messages one after the other, that my son is going to be murdered. And he never said to him, Hussain, Habibi, don't go, stay at home. Actually, he encouraged him. Through these messages, he encouraged him. Now, some people argue that, but Imam Hussain knows he is going to be killed, and Bani Umayyah they are not going to have mercy on him. So why? Why taking his children? Why taking his wives? We have an example. The answer is found in the Quran. You don't have to go to the hadith. Look at the Quran. God says to Ibrahim, after 86 years of not having children, Ismail is being born. And Ismail is the only son. Because Isaac was born 14 years after Ismail.
Right.
14 years after him. And he was, both the father, the mother were waiting for this baby. He is born now. And then, فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعِي, and now the baby just started going out with his father, He maybe age of 11, 12, 13. Then, all of a sudden a message. The father just started to enjoy his son and the company of his son. The message comes to him that you have to slaughter him. And Ibrahim did not say, God, you gave me this son while I was 86. I lost my hope in having children. Now you bestowed this on me. Leave him for me. Let me enjoy him. You want me to kill my son? He never said that. Because he's the messenger of God. He's different from ordinary people. He has full and a blind trust and faith in God, that God is asking him to do something good, not bad. So he took his son, فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. He came to his son, he said to him, and imagine the son who was 12 years old, he's still a small boy. He didn't say, no, daddy, don't do this to me. You want to kill me, daddy? Why do you do? He never said this. قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ افْعَلْ مَا تُؤْمَرْ. Do what you have been commanded to do. Don't ask me. Why do you ask me? Look at the faith here.
Yeah.
And nobody says here, why Ibrahim did this? Why Ismail listened to it? We know this is God's command. So he took him to the desert, and he was... The same thing with Imam Hussain. You cannot say to Imam Hussain, why do you give yourself, your baby, your young one?
Yeah.
These are the commands of God. When God asks to do something, we should never say, what about my family? What about my children, my wife, my property, my house? I must go. I'm a soldier. The soldier has to execute the commands of his commander. And the commander here is God, through the Prophet ﷺ. So this is, Imam Hussain was, going to fulfill this mission. The second reason why Imam Hussain went, it was also a moral duty. Suppose God never asked Imam Hussain to go, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, ﷺ, he never said anything about Imam Hussain. Imagine the situation. Imam Hussain being the grandson of the founder of Islam, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the closest one to the Prophet. And he sees the state of Islam and Muslims being reduced into entertainment, into fun. Imam Hussain says, لَمْ يَبْقَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا اسْمُهُ. What was remain of Islam is only the name, not the character, not the spirit, not the teachings of Islam. They are all gone. Yeah. Only the name Islam. This is the Islamic empire. This is the Islamic country. But nothing of Islam is left. Imagine when the caliph, who is sitting on the seat of the Prophet, succeeding the Prophet, he drinks alcohol in a broad daylight. Okay? He's surrounded by dancers and singers, and he makes fun of religion. Yeah. He plays with animals. He goes for hunting. He never prays. He never goes to Hajj. Okay? He never upholds the Islamic principles. He ridicules God and religion. When he hears the adhan, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, his father Muawiyah says, La wallahi illa dafnan dafna. We have to bury this name Muhammad. We have to bury this name Muhammad. Imagine he wants to bury the name of the messenger. And he says, I am the successor to this messenger. What was left of Islam? Nothing. And Imam Hussain says, life is not worth it. Life is good and beautiful when Islam is being exercised. Yeah. But when everything is corrupted, then I don't enjoy this life. When I see, أَلَا تَرَوْنَ إِلَى الْحَقِّ لَا يُعْمَلُ بِهِ وَالْبَاطِلِ لَا يُتَنَاهَى عَنْهُ. Oh people, don't you see that truth has been abandoned completely abandoned, and batil is prevailing. So why should I live? For what? Yeah. We live for a purpose, for a goal. We don't live like animals. Human being is not put in a cage. We tell him, listen, we give you food and a drink, enjoy your life. He's not a human. This is a beast. This is an animal. You do this with an animal. Even the animals, sometimes they get unhappy with that. True. They say, release me, give me my freedom. So when there is no freedom, no dignity, no value for Islam, munkar and evil is being practiced in every corner, in every place, in every audience. Truth is being abandoned. People live like animals. Nobody, not just Imam Hussain, even an ordinary person, he would hate to live. So it was a moral responsibility. Who is going to save Islam? Yeah. We expect foreigners to come from outside to defend Islam? Of course, the son of the Prophet has to give his life. He has to give everything that takes to defend this religion and restore this religion. Imam Hussein's intention was the restoration of religion. إِنِّي لَمْ أَخْرُجْ أَشِرًا وَلَا بَطَرًا. I'm not, power thirsty. I want to to rule, to become the prince or the leader or the king. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah. And I have everything, material-wise, everything is available for me in Medina. I have ranches, I have properties, I have friends, but I'm not created for this. I'm created for al-amr bil-ma'ruf, enjoining good and forbidding evil. So it was a moral responsibility. Imagine if Imam Hussain didn't go. Nobody would cherish Ahlul Bayt. Why do we cherish them? Why do we respect them? They are just like any other people who went after their daily life, their food and their career and their rest and their fun. And why should we cherish them? Because of their sacrifice. And life is about sacrifice. Yeah. Not just about Imam Hussain and the prophets. Even me and you and all other people in the society. If we sacrifice, if we do something outstanding, God is going to appreciate that. People are going to appreciate that. But if we are just like any other people, we don't want to help, we just want to focus on ourselves, the material side, the dunya side, we don't want to work for the akhirah, even the closest people to us are not going to respect us, believe me. So Imam Hussain is the leader for mankind. So not only religious duty that God commanded him, moral duty. He took it upon himself to go and do something to save this religion. At least a wake-up call. Imam Hussain knew that he's outnumbered. Yeah. He knew he has less than 70 people. He knew that. He was not under any illusion. Actually, he kept telling his companions that, please, listen again and again. I'm not going to succeed in this military battle. Okay? I am going to be killed. My family members are going to be killed. So if you think that I'm going to take over and become the caliph and appoint you as a minister, this is not right. If you come under this illusion, leave me. And actually some of them left him. Yeah. Those who came with him from Mecca, when they heard him saying that, they said, wow, then why we are fighting? I am fighting for money and for, position. So if I'm going to be killed, no, I don't want to. So they left. Others, they stood with him. They stood with him to the last minute. They said, yes, we are coming for the same purpose, for the same goal. This is why we are staying with you. So that was the second reason. The third reason for his revolt and his revolution was that he was invited also by people. Yeah. Many people came to him from Yemen, from Hijaz, from Iraq, that, Yabna Rasulullah, you are the only one who belongs to the household of the Prophet. You are the only reminder of the Prophet and his tradition. You are the only authentic one. So you have to do something. You have to help us out.
So it wasn't just the people of Kufa then, it was many others?
Many others, because there were many revolts taking place all over the Islamic empire. Because Bani Umayyah, they distributed their aggression and injustice on all Muslims. Wherever they ruled, there was oppression and dictatorship. Yeah. So there were invitations coming to the Imam when he was in Mecca. When he left Medina, he stayed for 4 months in Mecca. And people in Mecca, they would come from all over the places, and they knew the Imam is there, so they sent him letters. We want you to come and help us, not just the people of Kufa. But the Imam, according to the divine plan, he chose to go to Iraq, and he chose to respond to their invitations. So these 3 factors were the main reasons that Imam, went to Iraq. But having said that, one verse in the Quran is enough for us to understand why Imam Hussain, though he was outnumbered, though he knew that he's going to be killed, he still went ahead with his plan. One verse in the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf, وَمَا فَعَلْتُهُ عَنْ أَمْرِي. Al-Khidr, when he was with Moses, when he killed that little boy playing with his, friends, he came and he beheaded him. And Musa was shocked. Wow, do you kill an innocent boy? And then when he went into a city and there was a wall which was about to fall, and he came and reconstructed the wall for them, although they didn't give them food. فَأَبَوْا أَن يُضَيِّفُوهُمَا. They said, please give us some drink, some food, we are hungry. They said, no, we don't give you. But he did this big service to them. Again, Musa said, do you help them? They didn't help us out. They were so mean to us. And you come and you spend your time and you erect this wall here? And then, of course, the first story, when they embarked on a boat, and then the Khidr, he was, you know, pinching, he was
making a hole.
And he said, those guys, those, you know, fishermen, this is the only means for them. And you want to sink the boat for them rather than helping them, helping out. At the end, he said, وَمَا فَعَلْتُهُ عَنْ أَمْرِي. Listen, Moses, all what I did was not by myself, not my own desire. These were commands from God. I have to listen to him. Yes, it may appear to you as I'm doing crazy things, okay? Maybe they are crazy, maybe they are bad, maybe you think this is injustice, but these are the commands of God, and I work for God. I receive commands from him. Imam Hussain, he works for God. No doubt about that. His boss is God.
Yeah.
So he has to listen to God. Now, this does not make sense to me or to you when we read the history, why Imam Hussain did this. He created a tragedy. This is a mutiny. This is commotion. This is fitna. These are the commands of God, and it has to be executed by Imam Hussain.
Thank you very much. We've just got a couple of minutes till we have to wrap up. There was just one question as well with regard to the concept of Imam Hussain alayhi salam confronting the forces of Yazid. Some people have said it is, as you said, an uprising, but other people have used the term restoration. So it was a way of restoring Islam. Was it a revolution? Was it an uprising? Or was it a restoration?
The words of Imam Hussain alayhi salam in Mecca, إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح. Islah is translated into reformation, restoration, correction, rectification, and sometimes revolution, because revolution means your intention is to correct the current situation.
Yeah.
So you revolt, you want to change. So because of its aftermath, what happened even until today, all those who are being oppressed, neglected, they receive inspiration and a lesson from the revolution of Imam Hussain. When they read it, when they watch it, when they see it, it's a lesson for them.
Yeah.
It's a role model for them. So you can call it revolution because it really changed not only the condition of the Muslims at that time, but even non-Muslims worldwide throughout the history of mankind.
Yeah.
They were deeply inspired and touched by this gesture of Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
Thank you. And it's a reminder, I think, for everyone who's experiencing some form of injustice and who feels outnumbered or powerless, that it's important to take a stand, even if it may look like you can't win, or if there's the option for compromising, we could say, and having a comfortable life and giving up your principles.
Because what you said is very right, because Imam Hussain knew that immediately after his death, his martyrdom, nothing will change, because the following year Mecca was attacked.
Yeah.
After that, Medina actually, Medina was attacked, and then the third year Mecca was attacked during the reign of Yazid. And then many years after that, this system, this empire of Bani Umayyah crumbled down. Not immediately, but Imam knew in the long run it's going to give its fruits. He knew that. So some people say, well, I cannot do anything. My son was killed, martyred, my family was imprisoned. In the long run, you have to wait. You have to wait. In the long run, yes, it will happen.
Sure.
It will happen So even if we cannot do a lot of drastic changes, radical changes, little change is still enough, is still good in the eyes of God. Because God does not look at, quantities.
Yeah.
He looks at our hearts, our sincerity. If we are sincere, even if we do something very little, but in the eyes of God, it's going to be big. it appears big.
Thank you very much, Sayed Mustafa Qazwini, for an excellent discussion, and again to highlight to our viewers exactly the motivations behind Imam Hussain alayhi salam's movement. And again to our viewers, well, thank you, and inshallah we hope to see you again in future programs as well. And just a reminder to our viewers to get a paper and pen and take notes, inshallah, and we'll see you again in other programs. Assalamu alaikum.